chat, how's it going? So apparently my internet cut out, and I was really worried that I wouldn't have the stream of me beating the boss of Renala. So, but luckily, it's still there. I was worried because I saw 3 minutes. Instead of like the hour long stream it was, but luckily YouTube saved it, and I turned on VODs on Twitch, so make sure it's there. I kind of want to do music stream, so as I said, chilling, but I kind of want to grab out my guitar. Maybe I can perform my one fucking song, because I do want to actually, like, you want to write more songs. You can't even see my guitar. That's okay. I don't think I'm in tune. Could be more in tune. That's actually pretty good, though. Good. This probably isn't very exciting. Watch me tune. Wait, which string? Oh, lol. The whole thing was like evenly out of tune. Like all the notes were a few cents off. That's why it didn't sound so bad. Cool. Ooh, it's like, is that a D string? Holy fuck. Literally a whole note off. I need to get my hair. My hair is gonna be. Actually, I think it's fine. What songs do I actually know? Would performing someone else's music's get me banned? If so, I'm not doing it. Well, if so, I'm only gonna do my own song. That one song. Okay. What song do I know that's mine? I'm really bad at this song, so hard not to do it while shouting. I'll do my own song. Well, I guess I'll do my own little song. I haven't sang in a while, so well, let's do it. I fucking hate some capo sometimes. Well, I might as well start doing it.
What?
Give me a second. Make sure the stream. Hopefully, my guitar. No, it doesn't clip it. Nice. That's really important. It doesn't strip it. I sound good. Hopefully, my voice is audible. Hopefully, my guitar isn't so loud. Let's learn to play quietly. Like me, look into my eyes and see. Don't escape the bullies and tell them your face is me. You can be flawless like me, look into my eyes and see. Don't escape the bullies and tell them your face is me. Hold my hands near to. Stronger, pretty, and charming, chatty. Don't slay away. bittersweet. Hold my hands and we went far into the ice alive. And we can't laugh until teary-eyed. And we can't go in and kiss goodbye. Promise that we'll reunite again. Promise that we'll reunite again. 'Cause we'll be lovers till the end. 'Cause we'll be lovers to a end. So let's make a world for us and friends. Oh no, we didn't love you, pretend. 'Cause we'll be lovers till the end. 'Cause we'll be lovers to a end. So let's make a world for us and friends. Oh no, we didn't live, pretend. So that's the whole song. I have to kind of work on the second and whatever the second part of it is. Most could be the same as the verse, same as that part. But yeah, that's the one song. I have another song. I have to kind of keep working on it though. Like I kind of wrote it on the piano, and I have to figure out how to play it on guitar. So there's that. A few. I have a lot of other songs, but a lot of them are kind of harder to play on acoustics. Cause they were written with more of like a band in mind. But that's the one acoustic song I have. I want to curious to see how it sounded. I haven't sang in a while. I was pretty sloppy, but that's okay. That's okay. I haven't played in a while, so. So that's the one song. I kind of want to get the guitar in frame. Maybe back up a little bit. Because on. Hold on, maybe just. I'm not even in focus. Like hold on, let me turn on autofocus on the camera. Okay, this is a better view, I suppose. I know. God, there's this one Smith song I know. Shyness is nice. Shyness can stop you from doing all the things you want to. Shyness is nice. Shyness can stop you it's not love, then it's the I don't think you guys can hear me because I wouldn't speak next to the microphone the whole time. I just realized that. I think it was quiet as fuck. Probably heard the guitar more than me. I could do it. Still have a lot of viewers. Maybe we'll do it later. I should prepare more songs. I should. I have to write more songs. How are songs written? That's a good question. I feel like everyone has their own process. My process, I can do it live. It would be really boring if if I did my process live. So sometimes think of melodies, sometimes think of the chord progressions. Usually what I do, I get inspired by music. So I'll write something on piano. It could be the simplest thing, it could be the most complicated thing. And then I'm like, how do I sing over that? How long are the bars? What's the tempo? Those are all the questions I have. And then I'll hum something. And if I like it, I'll walk around with it. So I'll actually leave my house, take a walk. And if I don't remember it, I'm like, oh, gotta do it again because it wasn't memorable enough. And I keep doing that until I find something I like. It's not really sexy, and it's not really probably would make it fun for fun stream. Probably make it a very boring stream. But I can do a song that'd be more fun. So, and that's it. And then I find the words around it. The words can also be just as tricky. So find the words to the melody, which can also be tricky. So yeah. Anyway, maybe we'll do more songs once I have more music to show you. I'm done playing for now. And if it's not love, then it's the bond that will bring us together. La la na 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 na. I want to see how it sounded. Hello, new viewer. We were just doing some musicy stuff. I could do more. Well, I could do what I just already did. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind practicing. I don't mind practicing. I was thinking also doing some games. Also, probably Prince of Persia. The Lost Crown DLC just came out, or it came out recently. It's on sale, which I think is, I think we have to all get because it's a wonderful game that deserves to be supported. Ubisoft did the worst thing and canceled the game. Or sorry, canceled the studio. See, canceled the sequel. I can't really speak today. So, I think that's insane. I think it's ridiculous. So, because I love the game. I actually do love the game. I'm a little biased. I'm a Prince of Persia fan, and most of the 3D games by Ubisoft, who used to be good at developing Prince of Persia games, but sadly they're not. Yeah. So I do kind of want to look at more gaming news. So, did you guys hear? Let's see what Reddit's up to. I know Australia banned That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I think. Mm, it looks like it doesn't even look gay. It just looks like he's like just taking him and putting his head right next to the fence. It doesn't even look gay. It looks just. It just doesn't even look that wrong. Oh, let's see. Are you holding the Bible? That's not even very fun. I don't even like. He just. This is a mid photo of him getting punched in the face. Looks like he's trying to get protected against his nutsack though. What else? Everyone's making fun of this kid. I just feel like, man, it's just so mean. He's only 18. He's only 18. Probably like 20 now. But like, still, everyone's making fun of this kid. This is just sad. Sad. Absolute violence. Oh, he's getting a hand on his butt. Oh, then it makes it funny. Then that's funny. Then that's like maybe a sexual harassment right there. But I think it's just the referee trying to make sure he's okay. I don't know why the first thing he does is touch his ass. That's super weird. Super uncalled for. I love how like Nate Diaz just looks like he's like it's probably the fifth round. He's like, all right, guys, don't worry, I'm back in this fight. I'm back in the fight. Oh, I'm still picking doing this fight. Oh, ooh, that is rough. Can I do it too? Can I do this? Maybe if I start mouth breathing, my jaw will just go back inside, back internal. Yeah. Oh, too many people are doing the Max Holloway call out like right here in the center. We fight or we die, and then this guy just gets knocked out immediately. Instantly. Maybe he fell on some ice. We don't know. Fell on some ice, or maybe a banana peel. Maybe that was right there, and like a laugh track right followed right behind it. Don't really see that anything here. He looks like he's about to trip and fall over a bottle, which would be for a fun stream. Which would be for a fun video. This guy's knocked out. He's so sad. It's just actually sad. I don't get this either. I also don't get that he looks like he's almost about to have a hard on. Almost. Maybe it's probably the cup they wear. I found a hidden camera in my bag. Oh no. I'm trying to keep this brief as possible. Almost 3 days ago, my boyfriend and I discovered a hidden camera in my bathroom that I shared with my brother. It was disguised as a regular outlet and caught my boyfriend's attention because it was different than the recent outlet we had. This outlet had cable ports where everything was needed to block. Oh no. Oh no. Is it your brother or your boyfriend doing that? It's your, well, like, why would the boyfriend want to keep a hidden thing? Right? But yeah. I most likely want to talk about the fact that Australia has banned social media for all 16 and under. And honestly, I just want to say it depends. Like, I think restricting internet access for like children is good for most things, but I guess I'm a little biased because, like, you know, I like grew up on the internet. You know, like I grew up during the Xbox 360 days and the Xbox Live days, and like the Modern Warfare 2 days, and I just learned that internet is all full of shitty people. I think letting kids comment on the internet shouldn't happen, but I think viewing should be okay. I just think they should just make like content specifically like aimed at targeting the mental health causes, right? Like, because if you're like, you know, young and everyone's bullying you, the internet's like the probably the only place you can have to form a community around you, right? Like, I just can't see how it would be helpful to just ban it for anyone under 60. Like, you can argue, oh, just take us back to the ages of like the 90s and the early 2000s where the internet was more of a, you know, like a timely thing. And I think you just ban it for like, you know, more than 1 hour use, right? Because I feel like if you use the internet for like an hour a day, your mental health would be so much better. But if you're scrolling through Instagram and all you get are these Instagram models and you're like a 12-year-old girl and you're like wishing you could be as beautiful as these people, first of all, they're not real. AI it's all AI. It's not all AI, but everything's AI edited. And second of all, just get like immense body issues, right? It's not realistic. There's not like, I don't know how my Instagram became full of good-looking people, but it just did. Like, it just did. Now I have to unfollow all of them even though I never initially wanted to in the first place. Will Australia's ban on using will work social? Will Australia's ban on under 16s using social media work? Who has divided opinion internationally on how to protect children online? So, if we're protecting children from like getting groomed or anything, like off of like what's that grooming game? The grooming game, Roblox, Minecraft. No, yeah, Roblox. Fuck yes! Oh my god, like I literally only know Roblox for like the child grooming allegations. Like that's all I know it for. I don't even know it for what kind of game is Roblox. Anyone tell me? Is it like Minecraft? Is it like a Gary's mod where you create shit? Let's see. So it's like where you create shit. Australia's banning Canada do the same. So I live in Canada. America will never do this shit. So I just want to say, if all you American teenagers maybe listening on this chat, you're never gonna have this issue because America is just so capitalist. Like Facebook willingly knows that like Instagram is harmful, like actually mentally harmful for teen girls. They know this and they don't care because they need the attention. They need the clicks. Even though teen girls probably aren't like the biggest market share, like they're not like outright buying all like the ads they see, they'll like whine to their parents, be like, "Oh, can I get these shoes? Because this beautiful woman has shoes, and I want to be as pretty as her." So like they know that like it's the parents who spend the money on it. But Facebook will just continue doing it, even though they willingly know it's horrible for the mental health. New law in Australia will require TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and other social media companies take steps to keep users under 16 off their platforms or face fines. National using to ask tech journalists. I don't give a fuck about this fucker. I want to hear more news. So the past youth social media by now has to figure out how it actually work. So do you think YouTube should be banned? I think 16-year-olds shouldn't be commenting on shit, right? Like I think like commenting when you're like under 16 and don't have the decency of like like I just don't think it would work, right? Because like it also would add like more of the parasocial relationship, which is dumb, right? Like I feel like having a parasocial relationship when you're 12 and you talk to and you comment if every YouTubers comment every day, like commenting specifically, not liking and just watching the content, right? Like commenting might form a bit of parasociality. I think that might be really stupid. And let's read this. There is a passed law banning social media for those 16 and getting with platforms like Meta's Instagram, Facebook, Elon Musk's X, I'm calling it Twitter. Fuck off, Elon Musk. TikTok, Snapchat, Mushroom Australians are taking reasonable steps to keep users under 16 or face fines of 44 million peanuts. Honestly, they'll probably just eat the cost and just keep that market. Meshing up like WhatsApp, child specific versions like YouTube Kids and used for education delivery, such as Global Classroom, get carved out from the ban. Government officials said. Social media millennium minimum age bill says Australia up case sets for Western governments concerned about the mental health impact of social media on young people. Some European countries and the U.S. states have legislated age minimums for social media, but none has rolled out an enforcement regime due to legal challenges including privacy and free speech. China limits those under age 14 to 40 minutes of daily use on ByteDance's popular Douyin short form video platform, which I think is their equivalent to TikTok, even though TikTok is Chinese. TikTok is banned. TikTok, a Chinese-based company, is banned in China because they know it's harmful for their youth. While Pakistan example is not instructive, technology analyst Karmi Levy recently told CBC News Pakistan has banned a number of social media apps, particularly Facebook and Instagram, but even the regime leaks like a sieve, there's a huge amount of activity on these platforms in the country. Also, here's the thing. I think kids will still get on it no matter what. Like I think like you're not going to ask like a person their ID, right? Like is that's it's just too intrusive, right? The idea of giving like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube your actual ID is insane, right? Like there's way too much privacy. There are way too many leaks because if this leaked, you're fucked, right? Like actually fucked. Like I think the only way they can do it like properly is actually have a real person come to your house and check your ID physically, right? Because there's no way you can just give it to to a database and have it expected to not be hacked at some point, right? There's just way too much, and also it's not even like being hacked. That it can be shared. Like Facebook can just like share that information with AI or sell it to companies, which that's what they do. Actually, wait, random topic. Ubisoft. You know how Ubisoft requires you to now to log into the Ubisoft client and other publishers. I don't talk about Ubisoft specifically. So they'll play the games. So you'll play the game to access the Ubisoft client, but they use that data and sell it to other companies. Like that's what they do, and that's like another form of market trade. In fact, data sharing amongst companies is in fact more profitable. Sorry, just as profitable as oil. Legislation does not specify what is meant by reasonable steps. One of the biggest ever trials of age checking technology takes place in January and March, involving 1,200 randomly chosen Australians on user and will lead to recommendations levied by mid-2025. Britain's age check certification scheme will help test products from up to 12 firms in the Australian trial. The criteria for evaluation includes accuracy, privacy, security, user friendliness. Age check CEO Tony Allen told Reuters. Options include age estimation, where a user's video selfie is biometrically analyzed and deleted. Deleted. So this is when like they claim will be deleted. Now, will it actually be deleted? Hell no, right? Like the government should get access to the to the software and like, is this actually getting deleted? Is it actually stored on a hard drive somewhere, right? There's no way they can prove it. Options include estimation where a user selfie is biometrically and then deleted. Age verification where a user uploads identifying documents to a third-party provider, then sends an anonymous confirmation token to the platform, and age inference, where a user's email address is cross-checked with other accounts. Software testers during the trial expected to ask some users to try and fool the technology with appearance-adjusting filters. This is like so hard. Like this is gonna be so easy to get through, right? Like if you're a 13-year-old, you want to get to your favorite YouTuber stuff. Like you can use AI to make yourself look old. Heck, you just even get a picture of your freaking like. Just ask your mom to get it. Late amendments of the bill were made to bolster privacy protections. Platformers would not be allowed to compel users to provide government-issued identity documents. Okay, there are late amendments of the bill were made to bolster privacy protections. Platforms would not be allowed to compel users' privacy. So platforms cannot ask for government-issued IDs. So like, how the hell are they supposed to know your ID? Are you supposed to take a picture? 16 is a pretty hard age, right? I think, okay, so for me, I'm different. I looked like I was 20 since I was like 16, and I haven't really aged. I don't think so, not significantly, right? Like, how old do you think I am, right? And some people at like 14 can look like they're 25. Some people do. So this is already gonna be like. It's already not going to work out. There are age checking technology that analyze person's facial features, including facial wrinkles or their hands. Are my hands getting older? I don't think so. I think my hands are fine. Yoti's Meta's age checking rate says it can accurately gauge more than 99% of age between 13 and 17 as under. No, this is absolute bullshit. As under 25, with a standard deviation error in guessing the age of an 18-year-old measuring just over 1 year. But even that percentage still leaves the possibility of at least hundreds of errors in the country of 27 million people. Yes! You're not going to get it right. There is no way that an age verification from 13 to 17 is even possible. Australians parent groups push for intervention season. Look, I think 13 and younger, definitely she shouldn't have social media, right? But I think 13, I think Facebook already like have to be 13 to have it, right? I know Facebook was earlier was pushing for like get a Facebook account at 4 years old, at fucking 4, just so they can start them young. And look, if you're giving kids social media at like fucking 6, I don't know what the fuck you're doing to yourself. A senator from the Liberal Party said the bill was not radical but necessary. This is the responsibility these companies should have done long ago, but far too long they have shrank their responsibilities in favor of profit. Hot take. I also don't think you should be a content creator until you're 18, right? I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should be able to like. Not that I don't think you should be like maybe 16. I think 16 probably fine, right? But like I know like there are some YouTubers who are literally teenagers, like actual 15, 14, making videos, and that's just it's already weird, right? Because like they can interact with any person, right? Because they learn from other creators to what what they can do to spread. Like I think content creators shouldn't be should at least like 16, right? Because working age itself is already 16 in most places. I think that's when you're classified as like yes, you can run a business. But I think if you're like 15, 14, just wait. Meta through spokespersons characterized Russian Rushdale said, yeah, okay. Opponents will also argue the ban would isolate children, drive them. Yeah. So opponents also argue the ban will isolate children and potentially drive them to the dark web. Yes and no. Policy like the dark web is kind of niche, and I don't know. Actually, I don't have much to say about this. This policy will hurt vulnerable young people, and most especially in regional communities, especially the queer community, by cutting them off. Yeah, that's true. Most queer people, like when they find out there's like everyone's homophobic as fuck, so we'll just go towards like Reddit or Facebook, or we'll find whatever queer content creator they have and like form a community around them. So if you're queer and you're on the internet and you're like a teenager, you're kind of fucked. Just there's no way to say it. Like unless unless they have like school spaces for LGBT people, it's gonna be harder for them for sure. Who knows? Maybe they won't be queer anymore. Maybe they'll just be like, maybe they'll turn straight because they see less of that. But I don't buy into that. I think Christian Stone, executive of suicide prevention in Australia, said the government was running blindfold into a brick wall. Legend fails to consider how social media can support mental health by providing a sense of connection. That's true, right? I feel like mental health only became relevant during like when did mental health become relevant, right? I think because of social media, mental health may have increased, but at the same time, mental health was already an issue we already had. We just didn't talk about it for some odd reason. Like in the 2000s, going up like mentioning have a therapist, like oh you have a therapist? That's a weird. It was like a weird thing. It was like something you only kept to yourself, right? Knowing that like autism was some like if you were autistic in the 2000s, that was like it was just it's something you like everyone thought you were a freak, right? ADHD was legitimately the only mental disability we had, and it like wasn't talked about enough. It just wasn't cool to be mentally ill. Not that it was cool. I still think cool. It was like it wasn't socially acceptable, right? Like if your mental health, ugh, I don't see how you're injured, bitch. What are you doing? Are you crying the whole time? Some critics have argued that political force had no small factor in the timing of the bill. A center-left Labour Party Prime Minister, whatever his name is, has struggled in the opinion poll of the federal election. Yeah, I don't think companies will follow suit on this. I think it's just actually all them talking. Like at least Australia might do it, but I don't think other countries might. Well, it'll be very difficult to pass. Let's see what's up in the news. Let's see in politics. Just sex tape, streamer. No. Well, like if it's a leaked sex tape, that's already breaking privacy laws. Nick Fuentes would be funny though. I think he's homophobic as fuck. Destiny already said that he's bi. I actually do not care about any of this. I just want to see what the comments are. Oh, they've actually met online. He's already bi, so like I actually don't care. But Nick Fuentes, I just know him as the like white supremacist or like potentially teasing on white supremacists. Oh, that's why that's why Fuentes was saying it's gay to adore your wife the other day. Is it gay to love your wife? Please respond. Is it gay to love your wife? I don't think this hurts. I also feel like hot take. Who cares about sex tapes? Actually, who gives a fuck? Like it's the year 2024. We still gave a fuck about sex tapes? Really? This is actually just really just fucked up. I don't think this hurts Destiny one bit. You guys were already fucking everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just. I don't. You know what? Maybe it was Destiny who filmed it. Wanted to just get one up on Nick Fuentes. I wouldn't mind it. Just maybe he's been saying too much right wing shit. He was like, "Fuck this guy." No, that'd be horrible. That would be a horrible thing. Let's see. 3 dead. Oh no. What's Cybertruck? Ooh, no, not good, not good. Cybertruck actually looks like a car that will kill you. I am the person who's driving it probably is super fine. Who's super fine. I hope so. I don't want to read the story though. I think it's kind of grim. It's really sad that they died. Attempted coup d'etat reporting into places. Is Damascus in Palestine? No, I think it's in the other country. It isn't in Palestine. Coup is reportedly between the 4th Division under Mahar's control. Assad's brother, seen as Iranian. Assad is in Moscow with his family. Is this? Oh, this is in Syria. Okay. Is the Syrian war still going on? Like, how long has it been going on? I remember that thing from like the 2014 Agrisa podcast. Oh man. So I know I feel so bad for Ukrainians because right now, like they've been defending against Trump against Russia since like 2022, and Trump legitimately said he's on Russia. Like I don't think he said he's on Russia's side, but they 100% know Trump will just end the war by just telling Ukraine, yeah, just we're not gonna supply Ukraine with any more weapons, and Trump will just let Russia keep the land forever. They're like, this is how we decide the peace offering, even though Zelensky has been fighting to get the land back for essentially since the war started. And I feel bad for anyone in Ukraine who wants the land. Cause at some point, because this is how it starts, right? It's not like, it's not evil. Well, sorry, I'm not saying. It's not like completely evil because they do it in steps, right? Like it started with not Georgia. Hold on, let me see. Russia, Ukraine. It started with not Kiev. In 2014, I think Putin went on an aggressive war where he annexed the region. Yeah, it was Crimea. It started with Crimea in 2014, right? It started with that, and then after that, I think the U.S. essentially blocked him from the G7 or G6 meeting. And then there was the full scale invasion, and this is when this is an act of aggression. They had the only reason, the only reason Ukraine was invaded was because they want to join NATO. And the thing is, they they never needed an invasion. The invasion was completely unjustified, and it's just insane how Ukraine's going to have to give up the land they took, which is I think all the land they took. Hold on. Well, I want to read. What is all the lands? The NATO membership could end. Zelensky suggests war could end if unoccupied Ukraine comes under NATO. No, I think Russia is just threatened by NATO, and I don't know why they just don't join. Am I an actual dumb person when it comes to this stuff? President Volodymyr Zelensky has suggested that the parts of Ukraine under his control should be taken under NATO umbrella to try and stop the hot phase of the war. About whether he would accept NATO membership only on the territory that Kiev currently holds. Yeah, that's why he wants to join, because the whole point of NATO is that you attack one of us, you attack all of us, right? So if Ukraine joins NATO, theoretically, then the U.S., France, Germany, all of them have to come and defend Ukraine. That's the whole point of NATO. And Russia was threatened by this, and I think the whole point is that Russia doesn't want any of its borders on NATO soil. I think that's all. And Ukraine and Russia share a border, share a very important border. So should Ukraine be able to join NATO? I think they should. So, and it's funny that Trump is just going to let them keep the land that they took in 2022. I think Ukraine's still upset about Crimea, right? Like that was their land. So it's really sad. U.S. returns looted antiquities worth $10 million. Oh, really? Wait, the U.S. This is interesting. Usually, I thought it would be the U.K. U.S. returns looted antiquities worth $10 million to India. Looted. So, the United States returned more than 1,400 looted artifacts worth $10 million to India as part of an ongoing initiative to repatriate stolen art from countries across Southeast Asia. Traffic tickets recovered include items that recently were on view at the. They were on view. Of course they are. Among them is Stan Sculptor, a celestial dancer that was smuggled from India to London, or being legally sold to one of the Met's patrons donated to the museum. Yeah, this is just. So usually I thought it would be the British, because the British, the museum. What is it? The London. London Museum of Stolen Art. Let me see. Stolen artifacts. British Museum has found hundreds of missing stolen artifacts, bringing the total number of recovered items. Okay. Finds. The museum said up to 2,000 items gone missing or were damaged, many of which were stolen from its storerooms and sold on eBay. Oh yeah, basically. The entire British Museum should is just is a complete fuck you to call it colonizations. Like, yeah, we're done colonizing countries. However, we're gonna keep all the great art they created, like all of it. And apparently, they have more in their back rooms that they don't even want to show, because they know if they showed it all, it would cause even more controversy. Like, it's insane how they apologize for the genocide and all the war, and yet still remain like, we're gonna keep the art though, because we don't want to actually release it. They for some reason in Britain they have the actual what is it, the Rosetta Stone, the Egyptian Rosetta Stone, even though it's in Egypt and it was completely stolen from them. Again, I don't know why they have it. Oh, they have the Benin. Oh, yeah, they have the African one. So not only do they destroy the whole thing, they destroyed the Benin walls. They also kept up with the Benin Benin bronzes. Yeah. Anyway, this is more important. I guess I didn't know the U.S. still had stolen art. The repatriation resulted from several ongoing investigations of looting networks, including those operated by convicted art traffickers. I actually don't think this is the U.S. still stealing it. I just think they had a few stolen artifacts from actual thieves. So I don't think it's because the U.S. never had a colonization phase. They had an anti-colonial. Well, they have a neo-colonialism phase. Kapoor was sent to face charges in India's Tamil state following his arrest in Germany in 2011. The DA's office obtained an arrest warrant for him in 2012, though he remains in custody in India, pending his extradition to the U.S. Today's repatriation marks another victory in what has been a multi-year international investigation into antiquities trafficked by one of history's most prolific offenders. So is this basically more like Ocean's 11? Or I think Ocean's 12 is when they were releasing stealing art. So in Ocean's 11, it's been a while from West Movie. I think they were stealing from a casino, or is that 13? So I think this is more of an Ocean 11 situation. So in Ocean's 11, if you guys have not seen, it was a movie where George Clooney, Matt Damon, and Brad Pitt, literally a bunch of A-listers at the time, and still are. It was just a heist movie. I think they all stole it from a bank. I think they stole millions of dollars from a bank. It's a great movie. 13, 12, 11, 13, 11, 12, and 13. They were all great movies. I think 12 was the one they were actually stealing from an art museum though. I think 13 is the best out of all of them. 12 was good, but had a silly twist at the end, which kind of muted it. And I think it was wonderful. 50 years in mystery sibling. Georgian president calls government illegitimate, claiming rigged election. Chinese man sends 500K pounds saving to a streamer so she'd call him bro. Is this actually insane? Chico's for feeling for birth. The parents found dad with a friend on. Oh my god. There's such a Zoomer kind of story, or 2020 story. Woman searching for birth parents found dad was a friend on Facebook. Wait, did dad already suspect? Seems very weird story. Trump signs a law to require presidential ethics that now he's exempt. Alright, let's Ree loves Yuri confirmed. Terraria is going woke these days. Sigma hell unbelievable. Anyway, here's some Yuri. There's nothing I can comment about this. Is original design by Godwin, Prince of Death. Oh, Godwin from Elden Ring? Oh, was Godwin even talked about in the game? Batman Arkham. Why aren't we gay? Today is the 1 year. I like how we're doing 1 year anniversaries for GTA 6. Like, the trailer alone gets more coverage than any actual games. It's becoming much more common, unfortunately. The host I joined after completing a single mission of an operation. Alright, I'm head out. Yeah, it's common. Please, Alright. So, I'm thinking I should play a game soon. That's kind of what I want to do. Producer tells Rolling Stone he's not sure Chappelle's next album will be out by the end of 2025. Just kidding. Your mom was a cock-guzzling whore and your dad's asshole is full of roaches. You are a festering pestulate of Sigma, and I hope you choke to death on pitch and shit. Don't think you can rest for a second because I am coming to end your miserable, worthless existence. Is this real? Oh, holy fuck, the amount of creativity it takes to have this insult. Who is she insulting this? Is it Rolling Stone or her producer? Probably not a producer. Oh, your mom was a cock-guzzling. Damn. Let's go, girl. I'm real when I shop. I'm real when I shop my tweets. Holding space for. See, I don't think this is real, and if it is, that's insane. Holding space for Chappelle's next album. I'm in queer media. I didn't know she was happening. So I see Chappelle finally toning down her rhetoric with a muted response like this. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Reminds me of the band Hole. I wonder if she has met Cowboy Courtney. Oh my god, lyrics? These would be amazing fucking song lyrics, though. She should definitely make a song with all these lyrics. This is amazing. Okay. This is the most offensive article she's ever seen. Is it actually an article? Is this real? I love that we can't tell lies and truth here. I don't know whether it's real. This is why you know what? This is why I only take videos real, because tweets are too easy to fake. But if someone's like on video or at least audio saying it, that is way more believable. She's so brave, so groundbreaking. She's changing the industry. The way she yells at random people who work in publicity is so inspiring. The Twinks are gonna do poppers at the Pink Pony Club after this one. Oh. Yeah, I guess we're Jang Atoll for this next album from now on. White girl. I'm afraid she's mother for this. Alright, my next video is probably going to be on the Billboard. Billboard ranking the celebs. Why is there no last minute you want to see? Alright, let's see. What's a good sign to do to secure his masculinity? Probably him doing fingernails. Probably. I think men are so insecure on the idea of fingernails. I know. It's funny. It really depends. It really depends. On this question. First thing, he's not afraid to express his emotions. He's not afraid to. He's not afraid of anyone. He's not afraid of being. His emotions, being more open, helping others with emotions. That's one. If he has any aversions to doing anything remotely feminine, then definitely, yeah, he's definitely insecure about it. I think it's mostly just other men making fun of other men making fun of him for it, right? So if another man makes fun of him for wearing nails and calls it, "Oh, you're gay" or "you're feminine," it's just the other man. It's just the other guy like projecting his masculinity onto you. That's it. I don't think it's at all constructive whatsoever. A middle school teacher told me only a boy cares about being a man. A man doesn't care what he's called. Yeah, true. Common collected doesn't lash out on size propagation, comes up an alpha male. So alpha male kind of died down. Now now like the sigma males are like basically just the new alpha males, where like they don't outright say they're sigmas or they're alphas. They just kind of like do it from their through their actions and through their whatever, their wardrobe, whatever their muscles, whether it's their wealth, like they flaunt their wealth. Like Andrew Tate never claimed to be an alpha; he claimed to be a sigma. So, and I think Andrew Tate's toxic as fuck. So I don't think that's really slow. I want to do a bit of a tier list. So I just beat Elden Ring. Let me see. All Elden Ring bosses. Kind of want to talk about some Elden Ring news. Achievement bosses? Okay. This would be hard to organize. I want to do all bosses including DLC. Kind of want to do a tier list. Because I am not... Oh my god, this is the community one. The remixes list. Can I make my own? How do I make a... Oh my god, it's gonna be a long... I just want to make all of them. Live polling, community rating. How do I reset it so I don't have to like import all these images? I'll put all of them in F tier because there's no F tier boss in this game. We'll do it on difficulty alone, right? So hold on, just S tier. Alignment chart, what's this? No. Presentation reset. That's what I want to do. Okay, good. All right, good. So we're starting. Some bosses I have no idea. Who is this? This is the battle. We'll start with the bosses we know. All right, so we're doing from. What do you want to do? Difficulty or just quality? Like which boss is the best solid? We'll start with. Start with the first one. Battle. I don't even remember this boss. If I don't remember, it's probably a C, right? Because you only remember the difficult ones. So Beast Fair Missoula. Let me just. Oh, this is an easy boss. This is just easy. Bell-bearing Hunter. Again, another easy boss. I don't remember. Okay, this one I remember. This one. Borsalus the Freezing Frog. Borsalus. Oh my god, he says stupid name. I can't. Boris the Freezing Frog. Oh, this boss. Okay, this boss. Solid challenge. Solid challenge. I remember he was actually a fun, engaging boss. I think he's definitely like a C tier. Bell-bearing Hunter. I wanted to confirm that Bell-bearing Hunter was actually easy. Like he took me a few. He was actually a great boss. It's probably my favorite dragon boss the whole game. Bell-bearing Hunter.
I'm not going to spawn, so you're going to have to go back to the grave.
It's so dark I can't even see it. Yeah, this boss was a joke. Oftentimes you can really like oftentimes you can make bosses a joke if you're just over leveled. Like I beat Radon at level 90 and he ended up being an absolute joke the first time. Then I beat him more like late game. Cemetery Shade. Again, a boss I don't remember. Putting him in F tier. Clarence. Clean Rot Knight? Is he even a boss or is he like an enemy? I'm putting him in D tier. There's just too many bosses that are like, weren't that memorable because maybe you face him too strong. Commander Neil. Okay, so Commander Neil. Commander Neil himself isn't that bad. It's the fucking summons. He was pretty challenging. I'll put him in B tier. Ooh, Black Blade Kindred. I think we have our first A tier. He was really difficult and pretty challenging. So the problem with this boss that I ran into him and I run into him super early. Like you get to him at level 20 when you're just meeting the other the knights who when you just get to not Malekith, Malekith in other form, you get transported to a temple and you give the Death Knights or Death. You bring him death. That's all I remember. The guy you bring death, and then you face him with and then you give him death. And then you go outside. And then he's right there standing, basically like a statue. And then when you run past him, he'll aggro, and he's probably the hardest one. But he's not much hardest one of these bosses because he does get repeated a few times. I think he's going to A tier because he was pretty challenging. But he was a fun challenge. He wasn't like absolute broken like a lot of other gods. Black Knight Assassin. Oh, joke. Commander O'Neill. This is the one. He is okay. So Commander O'Neill was, he was the one you face in Caelid. Again, an open world boss. You can kind of cheese. He wasn't that difficult. Bloss Crucible Knight. So by level 1, he was so hard for the section we were in. This was like before Margit. And I think honestly, he's just like a little tier under Margit. I put him in like C tier. Maybe A, because he was pretty hard for the section we were in, and I died to him probably a lot more than the other bosses. All these in F tier, I don't care. I don't care. Most of them aren't memorable. You face them too long. Octavius. Okay, this boss. This is the dragon boss in Caelid, like the one that actually gives you Scarlet Rot. He was actually pretty challenging because you face him earlier, so I think he deserves this. Yeah, I think that's fair. This boss, I have no idea. All these bosses were completely unmemorable. Scadutree Dragonskin Noxel, again, a freaking easy boss. Alright. Fallstar Beast. So this is the one on the Volcano Manor. So he was fucking annoying. So the reason he was annoying was he would just keep running away. And he would have like 2 attacks. He would only have 2 attacks while he was run, and then summon like lightning, I believe. So he gets a C tier. He was because again, open world bosses you can kind of cheese if you know how to. But and also like you just had no damage output on him, right? Like your swords didn't do anything. I think you needed a specific type of armor to face him. So yeah, he was miserable. It wasn't even fun. Scourgery Avatar. He was he was difficult, but he was a fun boss fight, right? Because he only had like 2 attacks. He's basically the same boss you fought in Dark Souls 1, like the first intro, like in the tutorial section. He's basically that boss just redone. But in this game, he's a tree instead. Okay. So Erdtree, Burial Watchdog, you skip, useless. All skip. Oh, we may have gone to the first S tier difficult boss. This boss was hella fun. Probably the second best dragon. I think the Ice Borlist of Freezing Fog is a bit better in my opinion. But I put him in S tier. He's actually worth it. Fire Elden Beast. Yeah, Elden Beast. He was. It's funny because like I really honestly would have wished Radagon got a second phase because the Elden Beast just wasn't a fun fight, you know. I know they nerfed his like yellow projectile attack, but it was so annoying how he always would constantly run away. His attacks were he was bigger than the camera, so he had no idea what the fuck was going on. And he also he had 2 projectile attacks. I also feel like we should use the horse in the beginning of the game. I don't know why they updated that to like a year later when no one cared, but it was actually just a waste of a boss fight, in my opinion. They should have just made him. They should have gave Radagon a second phase, and made Elden Beast like another Remembrance boss. Elmer the Briar, another useless boss that I think was supposed to be difficult, but again, I fought him super late, and ended up being kind of cheesing him. So, he is champion. She wasn't the boss, was she? She was just the NPC. At least I remember. She wasn't. I don't remember. I will. Fire Giant. This was a great boss. I know everyone kind of hates on the Fire Giant because yeah, he is like a health sponge, but he was a fun fight. I enjoyed it, especially when you had the horse, right? It was just really fun using a horse in a boss fight because you don't get an opportunity to do that a lot, right? Most games, or sorry, most bosses, you just have to run towards them, right? And the Elden Beast was a symptom of this. So I think the Fire Giant. I think the one thing the Fire Giant was super annoying by was whenever he smacked you. I think in the second phase, you had no idea. You had no idea telling him where to go, right? Like he would just stomp on his shield. That's all he would do. Second phase. Flying Dragon Aguil. I don't remember him. Just one of the dragon bosses. Full grown Falling Star Beast. Oh, I think this is the one in Mount Villamar. Okay, whatever. He goes here. I think here. This is the other one? I don't remember. There are too many copies. Oh, fuck off. Google. I have ad blocker on, right? Yeah. Fuck off. Oh my god. Like. Oh no, what you fresh? No! No! Wait, it's still there? Okay, so okay, nice. Cool. Alright. Glintstone Dragons. This guy was actually easy. Godfrey the Gifted. Oh, this is the pre-Godfrey. I think this. Oh, you can I guess you can refight him. Hold on, I'm gonna go to wash. Guys, I'll be back quickly. Godfrey the Gifted. Again, he wasn't that difficult in this phase. So, by the way, I'm not ordering them. I'm just kind of putting them in tier list because it is hard to rate bosses, especially in the mid tier because they're all kind of easy. You know, I don't really remember a lot of them giving me trouble. All right, so Godfrey the First Elden Lord. He is, I would say, S tier for sure. You know what? You know what? I think one thing I liked about this boss is I hate when games, like especially when you kill a boss, they insult you before they die. And I think that makes you the player so angry. I love how he's the only one who compliments you. Him and in Sekiro, when you kill your spoiler warning, when you kill your adoptive dad, I forgot his name. But he also compliments you, say like that's my boy as you stab him for his final kill shot. That's so fucking cool. More bosses should compliment you, being like, you know what, you are actually a great warrior. Because that's exactly what I feel. You know, when I beat a boss, I am happy. I don't want a boss to insult me. That makes me angry. Like, fuck you, I just defeated you. I want you to compliment me, bitch. I want you to suck on my fucking toes. Fucking bitch. But yeah. That's why. And this boss has, like, amazing telegraphs. And everything's well paced. His second phase, the Horaloo phase. Brilliant. I love that he basically just, like, body slams you from one of his attacks. And he basically just goes absolutely ham. Like, he starts swinging his arms around, like, he's just... It's great. Godfrey's A tier. He was, I think, easier than Margit, but I think the one issue with him was that his getting to second phase was pretty easy. And second phase itself, whenever he does that fire attacks, it was really the fire attacks where he like sprays fire from his hand. It's really easy to jump over. It's a bit too easy to jump over. Like there should be, I think there should have been a bit more variety. But he has a lot more openings than Margit. Margit was an absolute asshole. Like he definitely should have been like nerfed a little bit. Godskin Apostle. Okay, so I faced the Godskin Apostle. There's actually like two versions of this boss. There's one where you face him in Caelid, the hard one, and one you face him in easy. And then there's one time you face him in this plateau. And in the Caelid one, is I think what one we're referring to. Let's talk about the one Caelid one. The Caelid one, he's actually a menace. He's actually hard. He's the one boss. So I learned. This is the one thing I fucking hate about Elden Ring and FromSoft game is they punish you for healing. So the moment you heal, it's programmed to be that way. He will throw out a fire attack, right? If you're close enough, and that's just dumb, right? Like punishing someone for healing is stupid because I have no way of telling when it's safe to heal, when it's not, right? Like usually if bosses attack, you can heal, but this boss is programmed whenever you're healing to throw a fireball, and I think that's like the part where Elden Ring has become unfair. It's too much. It's too much. Gotta end that shit. Godskin Duo, I actually hot take. I guess maybe the build's what I'm used to, but I actually like the Godskin Duo now. I know the first time we faced him, we all just gave up because he was absolutely relentless. But I didn't even use sleep actually, because sleep is how you generally supposed to face him. I use Bloodhound Step and dual katanas. I know it's kind of like a meme at this point, just to use dual katanas, but he's definitely in S tier. That's how I rank them. Fire Giant, yeah. Godskin Noble, again, another great boss. I love I think the Godskin Noble I like him more than I do the Apostle. I think he has great attacks. I also love how you can use the pillars against him to dodge his spinning attack. I think he's just a great boss. The Godskin, the fat one anyway. I think what was really, really cheap about him though was his sword, where his spear, he is so much longer than you think it is. So much longer. Like he has like 3 shots of that. It's actually nuts. All right, Grafted Scion. I remember having like maybe 2 tries, 3 tries, getting one of those mid-roll bosses I don't care about. Grave Warden. Okay, all these bosses I do not give a fuck about. If they put him here means I didn't remember him much. Leon Misbegotten. Okay, this boss was a solid challenge. I think I give him B tier. He was the boss you faced in the Limgrave in the south area. He has a few cheap attacks, and his sword is super long. You can actually, I think you can actually attack him as he's in the air, which I did a few times. But yeah, Lich Dragon Fortifex. So this is the boss. I think you have to do a side quest, with Thea side quest to be able to face him. Which is another dragon boss. 4 or 5 tries. It wasn't that memorable, so I'll put him in here. Oh, put him in here. Did I put Margit? Margit. Oh, sorry, I put Morgoth. Okay, Morgoth. hot take. I think Morgoth's actually easier than Market, right? Like if you're facing Market at like level 1 when the game tells you to face him, I think you're gonna have a harder time with Market than with Morgoth, right? So I faced Market like again, like most players. I went to Market straight away, got my ass handed to me. But Morgoth is actually like once you face him, I think he's actually a bit easier than Market. I think the thing that holds Morgoth back was the fact that he got sick and then you're able to, like in the middle, when he's changing second phase, you can really just layer on the damage onto him. And his attacks weren't as long as Market. Like he would do mostly his magic attacks, so I don't even think he's even that hard, in my opinion. Put him in A tier, right? Yeah, I think I put him right here. B tier. Lion Guardian. Does this include the DLC? Is it from the DLC? I don't think I see any boss from the DLC. Just right card. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any boss from the DLC. So I don't know. If he's just the only one included. The lion boss was absolutely a nightmare in the DLC. Let's see. Loretta Knight of Haligtree. She would properly kissed my ass. The one problem with Loretta is that you get used to fighting other knights, right? Like she has similar attack patterns to the well, I'm looking at everyone's names. The Golden Knight you faced at the beginning, I forgot the name of. So you end up getting used to fighting her, and you also fight a mimic version of her. Yeah, the Royal Knight Loretta. So you face a version in the blue area. Imagine why my brain not working as much. Holy shit. But yeah, you face a version of her Limgrave, Allsplato. What's the Luernia? Yeah, you face a version of her in Luernia that was already itself very easy. Oh yeah, Tree Sentinel. Yeah, exactly. Once you get good at fighting the Tree Sentinel, she becomes a joke, or at least becomes like you get very comfortable with fighting her. So I'm gonna put her, I think B tier. She wasn't that difficult. Lion Guard, I don't care. Pumpkinhead, I don't care. Mimic tier, absolute joke. Maw, I never faced Moog, but I did face the Lord of Blood. So he's probably pretty over from what I've seen, but I don't care to face the Moog. I feel like once you defeated the actual Lord of Blood, you know, it's pointless to face him. Miranda the Blighted Bloom, I don't remember her. Lord of Blood, probably the most. I think the boss was like the second best setting. I love his setting. I think I'm gonna give him S tier for sure. He was pretty difficult. The one thing, his first phase again, he's a lot like the God. He's a lot like Godfrey, where his projectile attacks are actually his close range combos are actually pretty easy to predict. It's not that difficult. But his second phase is an absolute joke. Sorry, his second phase is an absolute joke for the is absolute insane. So his blood alone, when he throws blood, covers the entire thing. You have to dodge it. You can't just like run away from it. You have to dodge all of it. Because you have to use those iframes. And it's just really hard to live through it all. Plus, he enacts blood onto you. Also, there's the fact that the boss is basically required to have the Moog's shackle onto him, because if you don't have it, it's like a tax on 3 S's that you lose. So you have to use that item when you're facing him. But he was a great boss. I think he's harder than the Fire Giant. Probably, yeah, Coscan is pretty hard. Plaxicus, okay, that's 7th phase. Magma Worm, second try. Melania. You know what? I have to say, Melania is like if it wasn't for Waterfowl Dance, she wouldn't even be that bad, right? Like she doesn't even have any combos. She has like 2-hit combos max in the max, right? In her first phase. Her second phase when she gets absolutely ridiculous, and then she starts just getting nuts, especially the one where she like has 5 different copies on you. 5 copies of herself in the air and tries to stab you. And the one where she still does Waterfowl Dance. And then she also, whenever she does an attack now, she also leaves a bomb on her sword. So that also makes it hard. And the worst thing, I think she still gains health when she hits you. So you basically have to no-hit Melania. But she's not that bad. Malekith, Malekith is probably the jankiest boss in the entire game in terms of like where his hitbox is, where it's safe to hit him. I had no idea where it was safe to actually attack him because it was ridiculous. It was actually kind of insane, especially when he's swinging his sword around and you don't know where. For sure, Margit's A tier. Like I said, I think Margit's harder than Morgott. Knights Calvariel, boring. Omen. I do all the main. Okay, I just want to go through the main one at this point. Radahn, yes, my favorite boss in the entire game. I love how a whole boss gets like A, foreshadowed, B, a whole castle to himself, and basically a ceremony celebrating Radahn. He like if we're based on quality alone, easiest, probably the best boss in the game. Yeah, I think he's better than DLC. I also love how like Radahn just his whole story was I just want a badass battle to go out, dude. I don't care about anything else, you know. I'm not here trying to like restore order or anything. No, man, just give me. I'm just a dying warrior. I just take me out. Respect to Radahn. Long may he live. Long may he reign. Long may he live in our memories. But in terms of difficulty, yeah, I don't know. I also like. I thought it was really cool how we did get to face a powered up Radahn in the DLC. I just hate the fact that he was the main final boss, right? Like the idea of facing Radahn when he's at full strength, fucking cool. But Godwyn should have been the main boss. I don't know what they were smoking. Maybe they were. Yeah. What I honestly suspect, it should have been Godwyn, but like they ran out of time. And they just had to reuse Radahn because they just they ran out. Here's an art asset that we already have. We'll just make him a little bit bigger instead of redesigning a whole boss to ourselves. Because I'm almost certain it just seems like Godwyn should have been the final boss and not Radahn. You know, it's still one of these dumbass bosses who just constantly wants to run away. Is there any other boss fights here is actually worth talking about? Soldier of Godric. Okay, that's fun. Easily the hardest boss in the entire game. S tier. Tree Sentinel. Which Tree Sentinel was this one? Stone Digger Troll, Joe, Putrid Cess. Yeah, none of the bosses are actually too difficult. Ancestor Spirit did take me a while though. I did face her when I was like super young. Ooh, Rykard. We forgot about Rykard. So don't crucify me, but when I played the game for the first time, I did summon. I was like, guys, I don't want to. So Rykard was the first boss I didn't summon for, and I was so proud of myself. So I usually how I play Souls games, usually I play the game with summons first try. Because I'm just trying to get the atmosphere of the story and not have not wasting time just learning all the attack patterns. But he was the first one I didn't summon for, and I was like, I just felt so proud of myself. And then after that, I'm like, you know what, man, I actually do like not summoning. It's fun. The feeling of not summoning is just great when you do it all by your lonesome. But yeah, in terms of quality, again, I think in terms of just quality, atmosphere, I give him a second boss after Radahn. He had an amazing setting. I loved his boss design. I also love the voice acting. The voice actor sounds, if you guys know the band Meshuggah, it sounds like the lead singer of Meshuggah screaming sometimes. It literally sounds like they just took a death metal vocalist or like death metal vocalist and just have him do his voice as he speaks. That's entirely what it sounds like. Rennala. She was more annoying than fun, right? Because I hate bosses that spawn multiple creatures. They're always fucking annoying. Her first fight doesn't count. That's actually annoying. But they're all worthy boss fights. Red Wolf. I don't know why the Red Wolf was so fucking easy. Absolute joke of a boss. Absolute joke. Gideon. Oh, Radagon. Alright, where is he? Where is the Elden Beast? Radagon. Alright, El Radagon. again, based on quality, I probably put him in third. Just like in terms of just actual awesomeness, I put Radagon in third. Radagon Elden Beast. But in terms of difficulty, he wasn't that bad. I think he was easier than a lot of these bosses. I found him easier than Malekith and Godfrey and Godskin, Lord of Blood. He's not that difficult. He's perfectly balanced in my opinion as a boss. Nothing too insanely cheap. Some of his attacks, you're like you think they're gonna end a little earlier, like especially the one where he like throws the hammer down, where it's three hits on the floor. The third one is actually always a little earlier than I think it is, so you always get hit by it, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, this is it. This is all in terms of difficulty. Alright, so I'm an Assassin's Creed fan. I kind of want to do a tier list of all the Assassin's Creed games. I think they all deserve some ranking. I have played them all. Well, I think for about how the first 10 hours. But I did play them, most of them. I can now score an opinion on based on all of them. Alright, an Assassin's Creed tier list. And I'm gonna rate them. Assassin's Creed tier list. Let's see. No, remix this list. Reset. Alright, we're going to. So we're not including. Didn't play. Oh, hold on. Let me just say. Arrow below. Did not play. Okay. Oh, okay, great. D tier? Okay, oh. We need an E tier. Like absolute garbage. Delete. How do I use this thing? Delete row. I think this is a worthy list. Okay, it's D tier, C tier. So B is like just okay. And I want to say from the get go, I think most Assassin's Creed games are good. I think most of them, if you just play them for the first time, you know you'll have a great time. They're all pretty competently made games. Certainly repetitive. That's Ubisoft. So we're starting from Assassin's Creed. I want to start from the first one. Assassin's Creed 1. So I remember the trailer. I think we're going to put it. Where should I put it? We'll put it in a C tier for now. So I remember the trailer for Assassin's Creed 1 was like the coolest thing ever. I've never like, you know, like I was a TV trailer. And I was like, this looks like the coolest concept for a video game I've ever seen. Like, I've never been like, oh, like this trailer is fun, it's part of the game. Never like that. But Assassin's Creed 1 was the one trailer I'm like, motherfucker, that game looks like a lot of fun. It had a cool concept. I was always a fan of Middle Eastern settings because I'm from there. So that's already kind of playing into it. And also, I love stealth games. I love stealth games. I thought it was super sick how you can blend into the crowd. Like, isn't it sick how he's literally on the roof, like climbing? Like, alright, if you're a Zoomer, if you're fucking like born after 2005, you're like, look at it, like, yeah, it's just like whatever. Like, Assassin's Creed had been around for a little more life, but like 2007, this was all new. It was all fucking wild, right? Like, parkour-based game, all there was Prince of Persia, which by the time was still fucking amazing. Like, the reason Assassin's Creed is still around is because he's basically just like historical Batman. He does all the Batman stuff. You know, he climbs. He can basically fly in Assassin's Creed 2. He's always stealthy. You know how Batman always disappears right in the middle of a conversation, and we're like, that's what he does. That's what assassins do. Again, also the hood was like, yeah, just a hood, but like it was a cool it was cool visual thing. It was a cool visual distinct. And the fact that the hidden blade is like is a whole new concept. There's a whole new concept for a weapon. Again, great. Like this, maybe I'm like, I think this game just like spoke to me because like I was a fan of stealth, I was a fan of parkour, and I like new concept. This was a new Assassin's Creed 1 was a new fucking concept. Crowd blending, fucking sick. I never crowd blended before. And then this is the coolest part of the trailer. Where did he go? Where did he go? Actually, fun fact, you see him right here. Right there. Oh, we just missed him. Right here. That's where he is. Like, it was so fucking cool. Hold on, let me just go back to where this trailer sold me on this game. I bought it that year of. And in terms of where I put it in the series, so I remember I was so mad at IGN because they gave Assassin's Creed 1 a 7, and keep in mind 7 at this time. If you gave a game a 7, it means it was just kind of bad. It means it was kind of just at middle of the road, mixed compets. Because games during that time, like 7s were like games you bought for like cheap. You didn't want to spend full price on 7. So I was so mad at 7.5. But like some of people are giving it a 9, some are giving it over a 6, but like, or sorry, some are 9, some are giving it a 7, but like maybe some, I think no one gave it a 6. But it was definitely like kind of controversial for the time because like most of the gameplay ended up just doing a lot of the same small side quests of like interrogating someone, following someone, but the meat of the game, the actual assassination parts, was like only half of the game, and most of it was kind of the menial shit we didn't care about. But I think it didn't matter because it sold well. I put it. I'm not giving it A tier because now it's hard to go back and play it. It did miss a few things. Give it C tier. I might change how I feel about it. Assassin's Creed 2. All right. It's hard not to give this an S. So it basically fixed everything Assassin's Creed 1 did. Like, it allowed you to crowd blend with any crowd. So Assassin's Creed 1, you can only crowd blend with priests because they also had the same hood. This game allows you to crowd blend with anyone. Also, you got Ezio, who is still probably maybe my second favorite, my first favorite. We'll see. Ezio, he's actually charming, charismatic. This is like the time where I feel like Ubisoft legitimately listened to criticism. Like, yeah, Altair was kind of bland, didn't really say much. Ezio actually came across as like a human being who was charming, a bit of a ladies' man, and actually had a really compelling story. Actually, a reason to be an assassin. The whole game starts off with his family dying, and then you end up like becoming an assassin so you can avenge your family. And all the assassinations are the point of the game, right? There are some daily missions here and there, but like they weren't like super annoying. Yeah, just like this it was honestly the perfect Assassin's Creed game. It introduced the double assassination, which was fucking sick, and you also got to go to Florence, Italy. Florence, Italy, Venice, Italy, and I forgot the other city you went to go to. But you also go to Venice, Italy during the art phase, so you got to explore beautiful Italian architecture. Italian language was fun too. I wonder if there are any pizza jokes in this game. I wonder where the history. I wonder if this game emphasize that they all talk with their hands. I don't remember them all talking with their hands, but that's the one thing I missed out on. And I don't think there's anything wrong with this game. At the time, got 9, and I think it's still well deserved. Ezio is so popular, he got a third game, Brotherhood. Now, Brotherhood, it feels like a DLC sequel, but I think the story was even better. I think Roberto Bergia was actually like probably one of the best villains at like the Assassin's Creed, and he actually ended up like getting to know his family, getting to know getting to know the family, and the voice acting was so good. Like I think the voice acting in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is probably the best one. I think it's a bit strong for uh for an S because like it was a good game, but I like new. I always give benefit to newness in games, and Brotherhood was just more Assassin's Creed 2. Still really good. They're still both great games, but it's hard to like be as amazed as I was with it when I first played it. And going back and playing it, I just realized this game is like heavily tutorialized. So I replayed it like a year ago, and every level has like a tutorial section, and there's just not a lot of player agency. Like game is expecting us to figure it out. And granted, a lot of this game is kind of new, so it's fun to tutorialize. But every section was kind of tutorialized, and kind of I didn't realize that at the time of playing it. But I'm gonna give it an A tier, just because it's hard to really rate new games. Revelations, God. Oh, Revelations. I probably C tier. Like, there's nothing wrong with Revelations. They did kind of end the story of Ezio, but this is at the point where I just really like. I wanted Ubisoft to make a whole new game. I didn't want the same more Ezio stuff. I didn't really care about Altair, a really bland protagonist. I did love how like the modern day setting. Oh, by the way, I'm talking about the modern day. Modern day, Assassin's Creed 1 has best modern day. Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, and Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. I think Assassin's Creed 2 and modern day was pretty useless. Brotherhood, I don't remember what happened in Brotherhood. Revelation, I think where he was stuck in that void and he had to get out, and then like he was stuck with someone who was also a former assassin. All of it was complete waste because Assassin's Creed was supposed to wrap it all up. But so modern day kind of sucked. Revelations, Turkey was a cool setting. I remember them getting us adding a grappling hook to speed up climbing. Again, a complete waste of a gameplay innovation. And then they made a whole big deal about like bombs, and there was also a tower defense level. And one of the assassinations actually didn't actually end up being an assassination. So I was, I think one of the sequences, I think they sped up the sequences so they made it seem like you had more sequences than they actually did. So you can tell this game was definitely made by like I think Ubisoft Sofia. They kind of all scrounged together to make the game. I don't think it was worth revisiting. I don't think it's worth talking about because I don't think it's that good. Assassin's Creed 3. This game gets a lot of hate, and I'm gonna say it. I think it's the best Assassin's Creed story ever. Connor, a bit bland. Rodan Hugedun, I think that's how you say his whole name in his language, was actually just kind of bland. Basically the same kind of story. Ezio, my family was killed, now I'm out for revenge. I think this kind of has always hampered Assassin's Creed storytelling because all of them are the same fucking story. Like, spoiler warning, like Unity, Bayek 2 in the future games, but they all end up being the same fucking thing. So, but I say it has the best story. You know why? Even though it has a bit of a bland protagonist, the villains were really, really well done. So in Assassin's Creed 3, you start off playing as the father of Connor, and you end up learning that, oh shit, he ain't no assassin. He's a Templar. Like I said, maybe I should have seen it coming. I didn't, because I just thought, oh, it's kind of cool to get to know the assassin, how it was formed, and yada yada. But because one of the hardest things with Assassin's Creed is the fact that they just don't like go like the villains are hard to like villainize. You know, hard to characterize the villains. Why are they doing it? Like, why do I care to stop them? Why are they like, you know, why do I care to stop them, right? And this game actually had like a lot of like different factions. So it was set during the American Revolution. So at some point, Connor was helping the Americans against the British, even though technically most of the Native Americans were on the British side. Because like, yeah, why would you want these colonists to stay when they should, get out of the country? So that was kind of a weird choice. The most of the Native Americans were on the British side, but anyway, I guess they changed that up for the story. But like, yeah, I guess Connor find out that the Americans weren't on the side of Native Americans because I think George Washington said he was going to take their land, but he did it. He did anyway, and Connor was trying to help China natives keep the land. But so you had the conflict, and then he ended up working with your father. And this is when I think like why it was so good was because Haytham Kenway is like probably the best villain in all Assassin's Creed. Also, I love the fact that Haytham. I think if you read his notes, he said he's proud of his son, and apparently I think he in the cutscene where he's died, he doesn't even have his knife drawn. I think he was willing to accept his fate that he died to his son, and he was almost proud of his son when he finally assassinated him. And I love the fact that the Charles Lee assassination ended up being in a bar. They just both ended up drinking. That's all Connor wants. I have to fucking finish this game. I played it. I got all the way up to like when Connor became a fully fledged assassin, but I have to replay because the story was so well done. Now I did give it in B tier. Explanation: the American Frontier wasn't as fun as it could have been. Like it just too many of the missions ended up just like I remember like ended up going to people's houses and telling them the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming, and that's just like not a fun mission to do. Like I don't care about like American Revolution was mostly a political dispute. It wasn't like the Civil War, which would have been a cooler setting. And I don't know why they don't do it. Well, I know why. It's because the political backlash they get. That's a whole other topic, another issue. I don't know why the Civil War is a touchy subject because like, maybe Americans are so overly sensitive about their own history. But I think they'll say like it wasn't about slavery, and you know what? I'll even grant them it wasn't about slavery for you because you probably weren't rich. It was about the 1% who controlled you, right? The 1% wanted to keep slavery, and I think that 99% weren't even doing it. So I think there was. I think if you're going to do an American Civil War story, or sorry, Assassin's Creed Civil War, I think you should paint it as like, oh, they were tricked into following. All the slave owning elites who wanted to commit the war just so they can keep it going. I think that's the best way to keep it for America to not implode, because I think there are some. But the one thing that is really just weird is that I think Germany like acts like the Nazis weren't evil. I think Germany has like a better attitude towards like, oh yeah, we fucked up here, guys. We fucked up. Nazism, bad idea. But Americans, even though that happened like longer, it was like 150 years ago. Nazism was died only 80 years ago, and yet Americans still kind of get upset by it. I don't know why, but like I'm not American. I'm not from the South, and I also realize that our history is always bad. Like you don't have good. Some history is good, some of it's bad, right? Like you're not gonna come complain about it, but. Anyway, B tier for this game has the best story, in my opinion. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant on the Civil War. What was the next game? Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Easy F tier. Easy S tier. Easy the best game. Some people complain that it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game, and I agree. It's not an Assassin's Creed game, but it's like the best pirate game you'll ever play. The sail. I love how the sailing was most of the game. The cities were basically useless to be on, right? Like all the action happened on the boats. Boarding ships was actually cool. I also love the fact that like I think pirates were very like democratic. So I also at the same time I also watched Black Sails, and Black Sails was also a TV show that ironically kind of came out at the exact same time as Black Flag. So I was really into pirate. I was like, I fucking love pirate settings. They're fucking great. Like first of all, they all democratically elect who the captain would be. I know, kind of ranting on fucking other thing. I might talk about what makes this game great. But first of all, yeah. Before I start, I was gonna talk about RDR2 and why I hate the story, but like, I'll flinch about what makes Black Flag amazing. First of all, Kenway, it wasn't a revenge plot. It was actually the original guy. It was actually an original story about a guy who just wants to get rich, right? He grew up poor, becomes a privateer. The privateering company gets wrecked in the beginning, and then he ends up being like, there's a treasure chest that I can find, so therefore I'm going to become a pirate. And then he ended up doing a lot of fun pirating things, boarding ships, forming allegiances, forming your own coalition in a country, and trying to be trying to be your own like little colony of pirates and having your way. and not working out. I also love his growth, right? Like Connor was like, oh, sorry, Edward was founded on just greed. He did everything he could to get the best money, and it turns out at the end, he has no one left. His family's gone. Adewale, his friends gone. Teach is gone. All his pirate friends were all gone, and he realized, he had very good character growth. And again, so by this game, they've kind of like they've kind of perfected the counter kill combo in Assassin's Creed 3. It was basically just Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum kind of combat, and it was perfect, right? Like I loved being able to go on just going up battling and killing 10 people all this one after another because you had this great combat system. I also will say a hot take. I also realized this is the one game where you have to run to press the R trigger, and I like the controls. I actually don't like how modern games have. You have to sprint to press the L stick. I think it's cooler. I think it's fucking cool. I use R trigger to run. I think because I think it's fun. It's cool to walk, right? It's cool to walk. But anyway, there's not really much criticism to Black Flag. It's honestly the best game. Maybe one game I beat it out, but yeah, I guess the one thing. So one thing that it can improve upon in the remake, which I don't think they'll do, unfortunately, is just add more side quests, add more treasure hunts, just do more piratey things. So I just wanted more from the world because I think I played Origin, the Chugga Black, the Black Flag, and all the small little islands. Work all they had was small little treasures here and there, not super significant. What else? I think I spent a lot. And most of this, and I think one thing this game lacked compared to my Odyssey was like city to land traversal. So a lot of the missions were kind of only in sea, which was fine. Like it was not that isn't a big deal. But like they didn't have like the ability to go from the city to the land without a loading screen, which is kind of lame. And I would love to have missions go from like maybe go out, you sail to an island, do some things on the island, and then you have like a chase where you get on your ship and then you chase the privateer captain. They didn't really have a lot of that. It was kind of like two games, some on land and some on sea. So I would love to kind of incorporate both at the same time. That's what I loved about Odyssey. Odyssey was the only one to do that. What is next? We have Rogue in play. I heard it was pretty mid, pretty average. This actually takes place in my country, so I probably should go visit the Canadian one. We'll call it Canadian Black Flag. Did not play, did not care. Also didn't play this one. Her Liberations. When did Liberations take place? I think this wasn't during Civil War, right? I don't want to Google this. I think the idea of playing an assassin former slave is itself pretty cool. I also did not play Freedom Cry because I thought it was what did it take? I think it takes place during the exact same time. It was originally sound the game's plot is within the fictional history of real life world events and follows the millennia-old struggle of the assassin who preserve free will and Templars desire for their control. Story set in the late 18th century. So it's not during the Civil War era. It's during French Louisiana, and the first film protagonist who fights the Templar Guard take control of New Orleans following the end of the French and Indian War. The game features open world spread from a third-person perspective, and I never played this game. I maybe should play. I know the one unique aspect they had of it was an ability to like, I think you can dress up as a slave, or dress up as like a royal, or as a noble person. So that would have made like the assassinations kind of unique in that sense. Kind of reminds me of the earlier games. But yeah, I remember missing a game. I'm missing Valhalla. I'm missing Valhalla. That's okay. Unity is next up on the list. Where should I put Unity? Unity, put it right here. So Unity, honestly, could have been as good as Assassin's Creed 2. Could have been. It had a revamped parkour system. It had like black box missions. It had an amazing city and probably the biggest crowd ever in an Assassin's Creed game. Still the biggest one, even though it was practically 10 years ago. So I loved the setting. I loved all the ideas. And you know what? And now that all the bugs are gone, it's actually a great experience, a great gameplay experience. But the story was just kind of kind of just forgettable, you know. Like Arno was just Ezio 2.0, but just not as interesting. The love story between Ezio, Arno, and what's her face? I forgot her face. And the Templar lady wasn't just didn't have as much chemistry as like I think it's first time actually as chemistry as something like Bayek and Aya, and it just kind of fell flat to me. But the overall gameplay experience was amazing, right? Like the parkour system was ambitious, but it definitely you can tell they definitely had a lot of issues with it. Like the animations, it felt good to watch, but bad to play because they would take too long, and you sometimes you have no idea how to get control of certain actions, and it just never felt smooth, like in terms of one animation to the next, and it just felt like it needed a bit more time to smooth out all the issues, you know. I think Origins ironically fixed a lot of the animation issues by making it simpler, and it did. And in my opinion, Origins fixed a lot of issues. And but overall, this Unity, in my opinion, is a great experience and a great game. Also, I loved how the city felt so alive. There were so many people in the crowd. I don't know why Assassin's Creed doesn't go back to it. Right? I feel like I hope they have as much people in a crowd than another Assassin's Creed game, because Unity definitely Syndicate didn't have any, Origin didn't have any, Odyssey like had none, Valhalla had nothing, and Mirage didn't. But it's so sad that like the crowd numbers weren't as was probably the highest has been only in Unity. So I wanted to go back. All right, Syndicate. Where do I put this? I didn't finish the game. It seems like it's a fine game. I feel like the one thing is, I guess I'll put it in B tier. Even though I didn't finish it, I'll go back. I'll finish it now that it's a 60 FPS. But I'm playing it right now, and one thing that's kind of it just seemed kind of not as capturing as, you know. It's just like don't know why the assassins are doing it. Like they're just like, it's literally like, well, we're bored with our time. Let's go to London, and then let's just go and finish following our fathers. Let's become assassins. You know, like I think the whole assassin story is getting kind of predictable, right? Like I think like you need a story like Black Flag. You need a story like, God, I think they're all revenge stories. Brotherhood was actually a good story in my opinion. But they're all into being revenge stories. And while they're competent and while they're well done, it's just really difficult to care, you know. And I think Syndicate just didn't have enough. I didn't care about the protagonists enough. And again, it was kind of a step down from Unity's crowd. Their parkour wasn't as good. And I did like the fact that you could form your own little gang though. That was a nice, cute innovation. I like the fact that you can also go from HUD to HUD off. Although I didn't like how you had to be in crouch for that. I don't know why they just didn't have a button for it. But overall, I'll finish this game, and yeah, hopefully it's good. The last two games, S tier for Origins. Is it ahead of Black Flag? Like Black Flag? I don't know where I should put it. Like I would rather replay Origins, because I think Black Flag is fun, but it just kind of repetitive. Because Origins is the first Assassin's Creed where I felt like a world, a country with like a variety of things to do. The setting of Egypt was amazing. First of all, it wasn't just like desert and pyramids, right? It was so diverse. First of all, the game also takes place a bit in Libya, actually. Fun fact. So, I love the diversity. So you start off in South Egypt, where it's a lot of typical pyramids, a lot of typical structures that are beautiful. Then in the north, you get to the Roman part of it, where you see the Library of Alexandria and the Tower of Alexandria. And then on the far west side of Libya, you get to the Greek part in the late game. And then you go to Memphis, which is this beautiful city that's kind of decrepit. It kind of has a spooky atmosphere around it, because some shit's going on. It's like a dirty smell. There's like a funky smell around it. And then you get to the Fayum, the Oasis, another beautiful water-rich area. And then finally, yeah, the fucking pyramids. You see the fucking Sphinx. Like the amount of like diverse. And then like maybe I'm just like maybe I'm from like Sudan, which is basically like Egypt again. So maybe I am a little bit like biased towards this game, but I also appreciate this engine. I love empty worlds because empty worlds, to me at least, always imply that there's something there, right? Like Assassin's Creed, yeah, it could be empty, but that's okay because like you just walk a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes later, you'll find something to see, right? Like I think people just like maybe I'm the odd man out, but like empty worlds that have things is what I like. Like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild has a lot of empty space, and so does Origins. But you know you're gonna find something interesting there. Whether it's gonna be a quest, whether it's gonna be a treasure, whether you're gonna find like a camp output, whether you can find something about related to the gods, related to the Egyptian gods. So the world already of Origins, I think, is the best world they created, no doubt, hands down. And the game, how is the game though? Well, the game is completely different. So it's again another revenge story, but Bayek is actually a very good character. I think he's better than Ezio because Ezio. One thing I like about Ezio is that he feels like just like a generic, charming guy. And not that he was generic, is that I guess I played Prince of Persia at the time, and I found like him and the Prince be very similar. But at least what I liked about Bayek was that he instead of him being good with like women, he was good with kids. I think that's a really cool thing, right? The fact that he was a father, the fact that he lost his father, the fact that the whole story is him just kind of accepting the fact that he lost his son, which is probably super hard to for your father to lose a child. So Bayek so also he has a strong relationship with his wife. You actually never see this in games. I think it's rare to see games actually having a competent competent marriage. He actually loves his wife. Aya is also a great character. One thing though I disliked about Aya was the fact that she like never had any scenes with Hemu. Never, not once. I don't understand why they kind of like copped out on not having any scenes with her, because like it always seemed like Bayek lost his son and Aya was out for revenge in forming the Assassin's Creed, forming the Creed. So I never really got that. Also, I think this game was supposed to like have more assassinations because the game opens with you assassinating one of the people you're supposed to assassinate, and then when you open up the menu, like they've already been assassinated. So I bet that all the assassinations you were already assassinated when the game started were supposed to be like real missions that the game just didn't finish it. But honestly, I don't really care because the game was so massive and so big that it was fine that I missed out on a few of them. Also, so the worst thing about Origins, I'll say, is I hate the level gating. Like I know you have to lock off some areas in the open world so that players can get to it later, but it's so bothersome how the fact that you just can't go a certain place because you get instantly one shot, right? I think some games do it better than others. Because I know even Elden Ring, right? We call Elden Ring the fucking best open world game. You can't go to the final area of the game till you've accessed a few certain things. So like I understand open worlds have this need to lock off areas, especially in the beginning, but I feel like they could have done it in better ways. I don't like how the same enemies too, right? Like there's no reason for enemies to like just be the same enemies to be stronger in here than weaker in other areas. It just doesn't make sense from like a game design standpoint, right? Like if it was like a new enemy that had like different armor or different clothing, I can respect. Oh, hey, he's different, right? So he had different attack pattern. I think that's a cooler way to do it. The fact that they just gave him numbers is so lazy, right? Like it could have been done better. Like Ghost of Tsushima, what different enemies actually do look different, so they attack different. So I think Ghost of Tsushima done it better. But anyway, what else is great about this game? The story's great. The gameplay's fun. One thing, I don't know. I think maybe it just wins on the world design because the world is amazing. But I can't nitpick this game a bit because I do play it a lot. So, what's next? Odyssey. This game. Oh, it's so hard to rate. This game could literally be up here if it was like 20 hours shorter because it's too long. It's too long. I give it here, B tier. I think. Okay, so point plus against Odyssey. It's not a revenge story. It's just about a woman trying to find out the origins of her parents. Good. I like that. I hate how the revenge stories is becoming super common in Assassin's Creed. And I think they're all getting super redundant. Where did I put it? I'll put it above here. I'll put it above this one. Yeah, that's probably my list. Yeah. So I hate how all of them are all becoming the same like revenge story, but this one is different. This one we started off just as a regular girl. I play as Cassandra because I was like, oh, let's play as a female once. Let me try out being a woman in an Assassin's Creed game. Never did that before. And I also loved how like it was basically Origins in Greece, so a lot of the gameplay they took over. The combat I just didn't. I feel like the combat was better in Origins, right? Because the combat in Odyssey was most about using your superpowers, which were fine, but I just feel like Origins just had better, like the enemies just had better animations. Like I don't know, I'm replaying it. I'd rather play the Origins combat. Also, there was practically like no stealth opportunities in this game. So like, I know we say that Odyssey was basically a combat game and it didn't have much stealth, but it was had the exact same mechanics. Just that Origins like level design, like the castles and the forts, it just had way more like bushes to hide in, haystacks, bathrooms. It just had more opportunities to be stealthy. And Odyssey was just like a fort with not very many options to do anything in. So game almost forced you to do combat in. So this game also brings back the ship combat. Let's talk about Odyssey in general. I call Odyssey the best game that has a lot of mid design, right? That's a lot of like, I don't want to say ornament. That has a lot of just like half baked design. So it had the ship combat. Ship combat was fun. In Black Flag, it was fun in Black Flag, and in Odyssey, it was kind of like half baked, not as fun. And a lot of it could be the fact that it is like the 300 BC in Greece. So yeah, there wasn't any cannons, there wasn't any firebombs, there wasn't any mortars or anything. So yeah, it just couldn't be as fun because it didn't have any guns either. But they could have made it better. Like I don't know, like I know like they shouldn't add like 3-story high ships in a game and historical that might take out some of the immersion, but still like you have to make it at least fun, and I just feel like the ship combat just wasn't as fun as Black Flag. Also, you can only throw a spear. That's all you could throw. Like you can throw boxes of like full of firebombs. Get creative with some of it. I tried multiple times. Could you even use a rope to get onto the opposing ship? I don't think so. I tried multiple times. I don't think it works. So the ship combat half baked. The mercenary system. It was supposed to be similar to the Nemesis system, but like it was just I didn't feel like it was relevant. Could you hire some of the mercenaries onto your ship though? I think you could hire some of them onto your ship and they would improve the ship. But again, it wasn't like a hierarchy like the Nemesis system. It was just like a group of soldiers that just had levels to them, right? And yeah, some of them had abilities. I think they could improve your ship, but again, it wasn't super significant. The combat was pretty shallow. The story, pretty shallow. Also, the worst thing about Odyssey were the choices. Now, I know they talked about, like, oh, how cool it is to make choices in games. Every fucking RPG has choices in games. This is the first one to actually allow you to have choices, and they fucking talked about it as if it's a fucking new thing. Like, come on. But it just made all the cutscenes super, like, weird, because you can tell that they all tried to be as if they were motion captured, but they weren't. So it's had this weird, like, facial animation. Even, like, Cassandra had worse facial animation than Bite, the game that came out a year before. So that was that really weird a disconnect. I also feel like hot take choices in games only matter for protagonists that don't speak, who don't have much of a character, right? Because I always feel like when a protagonist is given a choice, it's always this like it's always this weird thing where like, do they really want to say that? Or do I want to say that, right? Like, how do I know they want to say that, right? Like I like the characters making decisions so I can see their life experience. I don't like choices in games. I feel like most of the time they're implemented poorly. at least like The Witcher 3, their choices were still in character for Geralt. So like it never felt completely weird with him. But also I hate how like there's always this pause, right? Like a cutscene happens, so what now? And then they just stand there like mute. Like that's not how humans fucking speak, you know? I just wish there was more. I just wish like you made choices through the gameplay. So like yeah, just if you want me to you want me to kill her, let me kill her. You know, I just wish it was made through gameplay rather than like through cutscenes. Because cutscenes, I feel like cutscenes should have choices, but gameplay should have choices. Anyway, Odyssey B tier. Now Valhalla, I'll just talk about Valhalla. I'll put Valhalla C tier. Valhalla is like, I played the first 10 hours and I got really fucking bored of it. I think it was just too big of a game. Like, I think I maybe offended some of the rumors, but I thought it was just kind of too big, too un-Assassin's Creed. Also, I'm gonna be a little bit biased. I fucking hate Vikings in Assassin's Creed games. I think Vikings are the least Assassin's Creed thing you can do, right? Because they're just warriors. That's all they are, right? I think they're known for like ravaging and pillaging a bunch of shit. So again, they warriors. They just destroy. Like it's a fucking Terminator. What is it? Like what is this? It's kind of a lame idea to have them as protagonists. But I know there are a lot of people who probably like Vikings. So if I was doing a Viking Assassin's Creed game, I definitely would have been focusing more on the assassins. I also don't even know, did Vikings even have a lot of like cities and able to do parkour with? And yeah, I don't know. I just think it was too much of a Viking game, which would have been fine. It's just I think the combat is not as good. I think the Assassin's Creed combat isn't as good. It's not as detailed as Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, so if I put Ghost of Tsushima on this list, I fucking put that in A tier, by the way. But by the way, so Ghost of Tsushima. If I'm putting this on the list, I put it probably right here. If I put Ghost of Tsushima, so I think I'm gonna talk about Ghost of Tsushima now because it's the most recent game I played. Ghost of Tsushima is like I feel like it's more of a Far Cry game than an Assassin's Creed game. And what I mean by this is that it's an open field. There aren't a lot of cities, and it's mostly about combat. Like there aren't any like all the stealth is pretty shallow. It's pretty akin to more like Horizon or RPG kind of stealth than like what I think of like an actual Assassin's Creed game, more like Unity. But yeah, so that's how I feel with the game. But the combat of Ghost of Tsushima, easily the best combat I play in open world RPG ever. Combat is so well done, so well choreographed. Animations are fucking brutal. I love all the sound effects. And I also I love how there's no lock on, right? But I feel like lock-ons are necessary. If you lock-ons are unnecessary because there's just cooler motions you can do where you're not always looking at the character you're fighting, right? You can run behind him, like quickly do a spinning around kick. You can't really do that if you're always facing the enemy, right? So, what else? Ghost of Tsushima. One thing about Ghost of Tsushima is that I think it's a well-told story, but man, I'm just gonna say it. Jin Sakai kind of bland, kind of boring protagonist. Only one thing I hate about Jin Sakai was it just felt like the actor was so stoic the whole time. He never expressed any emotion, not once, not all. I even played a DLC where you find out that how his parents died, and it was like, wow, this actor is barely acting. It was hard to take him hard to really care about his personal struggle. Maybe it's just the me thing. Maybe it's the fact that he's always so stoic. That the fact that that's what warriors should do. Another hot take is that like Jin Sakai is just a warrior, and that's all there is to his character. Now, granted, a noble warrior willing to do anything for his country. Other than that, even in his like youth, he literally started as just like he started training him as a warrior, and that's all there was to his character. I think the thing that still makes it great for me is his relationship with his uncle was really strong. His relationship with the woman, I forgot, and basically all the other side characters kind of didn't make up the story for me. But I thought Jin Sakai was easily the worst part of the story, in my opinion. I just thought he was not that memorable. I did like how he did sacrifice, how he's willing to become a ghost to save. I thought that was very honorable of him. But like, I just wish there was like more for him to give up. Right? He just never had semblance of anything other than I'm a warrior. Like what would he do if he wasn't being a warrior? You know, I know what Bayek would do. Bayek would probably have a great time with kids. Maybe open up a daycare center. You know, I mean, maybe have more kids. You know, he has a strong relationship. He has a strong relationship with his wife. Has a strong relationship with kids. Like I know Ezio would probably be family man having like I think they're human beings. Jinsakai never felt like a human being other than him being a warrior. And granted, maybe this is like the era of the time where like all men are supposed to be warriors and nothing else. But like, hey, someone has to repopulate the population. Why not let it be him? Like Black Flag, like Connor. Edward had a woman. He has his daughter. He had interests. He has he was doing it. He was doing it for himself, not really family. But like again, that's one thing about this guy. I just there was more humanity in him. More like what would I be doing if I wasn't a warrior? I think that's always a good point that should be made. What would the characters do if they weren't just fighting the whole time, right? Is Kratos anything? Kratos is a little bit different. First of all, Kratos in the first two games not much of a character. He's just a bloodthirsty motherfucker who wants to kill him. But in Ragnarok in 2018, he's actually a good character. First of all, he had a son. Oh, the first game, he's just like, I'm gonna teach my son hunting. I'm trying to form a strong relationship. That's already a human thing. A father trying to form a strong relationship with a son sounds really human to me. Sounds like the most masculine thing you can do. And also just most masculine thing you do, and also shows a very human side. And Ragnarok again, he was trying to avoid, and I don't know, like I think Kratos is just a better character than Jinsakai, and I just feel like I think based on the Ghost of Yote trailer, all I saw was just the new protagonist, who I have no idea what the name of. I think she's just gonna be like a rogue, kind of like assassin. Maybe her parents die. She's out for revenge. I am so sick of games doing revenge stories. I hate how like Assassin's Creed Shadows is like, I think for Naoe, I think her parents died. I think they spoiled that in the trailer, and she's just out for revenge. And it's so annoying. I can literally like look. I don't like. So I'm kind of glad that like Yasuke's in there because someone. Oh wait, no, I think he also might want revenge too, right? I don't know. I like if Yasuke's family dies, he's also out for revenge of the people who killed it. Also, people who would kill his family, right? He's the slave. I think based on history, is that he was taken in. Let me see Yasuke's story. He was taken in by the British, so they just bought a black guy, and then took him in on a ship. I think so. I read some leaks saying his family dies on the ship, and then he ends up escapes. Everyone else dies on the ship, and then he ends up escaping. So what's his main goal? I think it's a cool, super cool story. Super cool opportunity to tell a story, right? Because like most assassins or in the most Assassin's Creed characters are just typical. My family died. I want revenge. That's it. That's the whole fucking story every single time. But Yasuke is a little bit different, right? He's a slave. Maybe he wants freedom. Maybe he wants to go back to where he's from. Where is he from? I think he's from Mozambique. Oh yeah, Portuguese overseas. Yeah, he's from Mozambique. Maybe his entire plot line could be the fact that he's going to Mozambique. That's all he cares about. He just wants to go back home. I think that would be a cooler story. But would it satisfy all the races in the game? Probably not. Man, they really should have pitched this game as like a dual settings Sasuke. Where Japan is maybe 80% of the game, but then 20% of the game takes place in Mozambique. Mozambique also had a pretty interesting history, right? It's similar to Assassin's Creed 3, where colonization was going on, and like I'm not sure the indigenous people were like, "We don't like this thing going on. Can you stop it?" And the colonizers were like, "No, let's keep doing it because we can make a lot of money here, right?" And that's a really cool idea for a story. But nope, not happening. I guess. Well, I don't know. Maybe all my wishes actually come true, and this is actually what the story is going to be like. Who knows? So let's hope their section is Mozambique in this game. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna end this stream. I think I've been on for quite a while. Over 2 hours. Alright. So, thanks for watching, y'all. I don't know who joined in recently, but thank you for watching. Thanks for hearing my rant about Assassin's Creed and Elden Ring bosses. Anyway, bye-bye. I'm Video Prince.